I've been waiting to see for a long time. Zinoto versus Abadango. Diddy Kong versus Mewtwo. The best of their trades, pretty much, with the exception of Zero, who a lot of people don't even count toward, their character power rankings. But either way, a tried and true, dedicated Diddy main since the Brawl days versus the new hotness, Mewtwo.
And this is a matchup that was supposed to happen whenever Abadango was flown in for a Midwest regional. But because of some early losses, he ended up never having to face Zinoto. So it's only fitting that they're playing now on such a large stage.
And you know who delivered Abadango one of those early losses? My man, Ned.
Only fitting, I suppose.
All right, Abadango trying to use that double jump cancel Shadow Ball charge to make his movement a little less predictable here. I like that, and it's currently giving him the lead. So as we saw Abadango get swept by Zero before, he might have different luck when he fights Zinoto.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that the characters, these characters who went from winners to losers, are facing these same characters again.
Yeah, very true. Cloud Mario and Diddy Mewtwo. I guess that has something to say about the tier list, right?
I mean, the biggest question for me is it enough practice? In the case of Ally, it certainly was, but will it be enough for Abadango against Zinoto?
Right, and it also answers the question, or will answer the question, is it the player or is it the character? Zinoto showing that it might be a mixture of both, I guess.
It really might. He's just so confident with these conversions, and playing a character like Diddy, it gives him so much access to so many tools in neutral.
I feel like Zinoto really knows the ins and outs of Diddy Kong's matchup spread, maybe even to a level that rivals Zero. He just has this surgical approach to everything. He's like, okay, I know what Mewtwo's going to look for. I've seen and played Mewtwo's before. I've watched Abadango. Whereas Zero, I kind of feel like he's like, I'm really good. I am just going to wing this on instinct and get it done, and also just figure things out as I go.
You know, when he spoke with Mixwell on the interview, he said he doesn't have a lot of actual playing Mewtwo experience, so he's relying primarily on his fundamentals. And we can see in this match just how strong those fundamentals are, as he is on the verge of possibly even two-stocking one of the favorites to take this tournament.
This is not a good look for Abadango right now. Needs to at least take a stock to get something going here. Diddy Kong, of course, slightly exploitable recovery, but if you're not even going to put him in an off-stage situation, what good is that?
Abadango taking a minute to really contemplate what all went wrong. He is our international guest for the event.
Ally?
Well, yeah, Ally counts too.
No.
Canada.
Ally's basically a Midwest guy. He spends all his time in Michigan. But I think we're going to see a departure from Mewtwo here from Abadango. If you lose 4 games in a row to Diddy Kong, you might want to do something different. Oh, and he's changing his controls, which means the PacMan is going to come out. I am fairly sure. I got a nice little sit-down with Abadango right before Top 16 began, and he made this tag when he started playing PacMan.
Aba secondary maybe is
Smash, I think, for Smash Stick instead of Tilt Stick. But yeah, maybe. It could be secondary. Or it could just be a Japanese word that we're not even thinking about. Oh. He used... Wait. No.
No, it's the wrong tag.
It's the wrong tag.
It's the wrong tag.
Oh, is Zinoto being a good guy and pointing it out to him?
Yeah.
Yo.
Good guy Zinoto.
Zinoto. That is my man. Shoutouts to Zinoto.
And what I love about that is Zinoto, even with this much on the line, is showing the highest level of sportsmanship. He doesn't want to take it for free. He wants Abadango to come at him with everything he has.
And you can tell that's the kind of guy Zinoto is based on that interview when he said, yeah, my goal was to fight Zero, and I really want to do that, so I'm going to blow through this losers bracket at all costs.
Definitely, and it would really rob him the experience he needs to get to that point if he played a lesser version of Abadango. He needs Abadango at his fiercest to even stand a chance against Zero.
But here we go, man. This PacMan coming out for the first time in a while.
A very long time. You know, we saw on Twitter that Abadango felt like he should just drop the character entirely, and a lot of us really thought he would. But here it is, a rare treat for the folks at home, live at Smash and Splash 2016.
Maybe thinking, okay, Mewtwo kind of loses the zoning game and can't approach Diddy Kong. PacMan, it's time to level up that projectile throwing.
Oh, definitely. And Zinoto is taking note of this. He's trying to play this game as close to face as he possibly can. He knows he needs to, because when PacMan can set up all of these traps, that's when PacMan really is in control.
Look at these nutty setups, man, with the Fire Hydrant, Galaga's, now stealing Zinoto's banana. Oh, but a rogue side B, I can't help but think that was an accident, or if it wasn't, definitely not a great decision on Abadango's part. But look at all these stage hazards. What do you do?
for me, the big thing is just looking at him using the Hydrant as an option to activate some new approaches. I mean, it's insane how much tech he has with this character, despite the fact that we've seen very limited use of it in modern day.
Just going to pitch him off stage, grab a banana. Oh, and he's not even going to hold it in his hands. He's locking off that roll option, so now he knows it's either going to be jump, stand up, attack, or drop off.
Great option coverage. This is, again, Zinoto dealing with a threat that he may not have faced before. He's going to need to rely on those strong fundamentals to carry him through this match.
Uh-oh. Stealing the bell there. I love how these guys are playing with each other's items, though. It really just adds a new dynamic to the matchup.
Definitely, and even the Hydrant there being a factor for why Zinoto missed the down tilt. It pushed him too far away to get the connection.
Yeah, I can't help but think that Abadango has a severe advantage in terms of matchup experience here. I don't know what PacMan Zinoto has practiced against, if any.
Is it PacMai?
PacMan.
Is that the plural?
PacMoose.
PacMoose, definitely. Overall, though, this game's very
that's it!
But wow! What a confirmation off of that bell. The stun leading right into the up smash as Abadango comes out on top for this first stock.
Just going to send that Hydrant flying his way. He's got the key on deck. Okay. Throwing it, hoping to pick up some extra damage, of course.
Man, I feel like the fact that he's back on PacMan has unlocked just how crazy his item control is. Now Zinoto's banana peels, they don't seem to be having as much effect in this match in contrast to the previous matches.
Yeah, Zinoto's near immaculate banana play really pales in comparison to Abadango doing all this crazy stuff. Did you see that Z drop into air dodge? This guy is a nut, man. He's full of surprises, and so is Zinoto.
Definitely. I want to see if Zinoto's going to start punishing some of these charges that we're seeing of the items themselves, right? Especially whenever you see Abadango off stage, he'll tend to like jump up and then fall down with the charge. If Zinoto can maybe Z-drop the peel, it might open up an additional opportunity for him to surprise Abadango and close the stock out early.
Something really impressive that Abadango and most PacMan mains really use to their advantage is that PacMan can cancel his charge into, or he can cancel his charge cancel with air dodge into a special move. So you'll see him rising, like second jump, charge the item, and then immediately shield and up B. And there's no air dodge in between. He just goes straight into the trampoline. And I think that's partially why Zinoto is a little bit hesitant to challenge PacMan charging. Doesn't want to get hit by a Hydrant when he's falling.
You know, that makes complete sense. And if we look at the game overall, it feels like for the most part he's winning on stage. There's no reason to try to go all in on a play where you could potentially lose all of stage control and maybe even your stock. The tricky curve of the bell. Zinoto managing to avoid it. I saw what you did there.
Props.
Yeah, the medium.
Oh, and he picks it back up. But Zinoto still just all over this man. Staying super fierce with the, I'd say, pseudo-aggression. He really just picks his spots. And wow, Abadango with the same bell for a hot minute there. Getting some offensive momentum going for himself.
Certainly playing against a player who is on the very edge of that curve.
I love how he just used the trampoline to hop over the Hydrant to safety, but Zinoto going to close it out either way. And still a better performance with the PacMan than with the Mewtwo from Abadango. I'm not sure if we're going to see him stick it out or if he's really just having kind of a character crisis here.
It just might be. We have to factor in the arms race now because he has so many different characters. We saw actually at Shuffle, which we casted, that Zinoto struggled against Ido's Meta Knight. Do you think maybe this is the time where you might pull out the Meta Knight, see how it does?
I would say conventional matchup wisdom suggests that Diddy Kong is a real good pick for Meta Knight. But yeah, I was going to say Rosa would be my guess, if anything. But I still think Meta Knight stands a good chance against Diddy Kong, especially if you're not prepared for the matchup. And Zinoto definitely looked unprepared against Ido. But I think he's the kind of guy who, once he loses a matchup, he's just going to go home and practice it ad nauseum. So Abadango probably didn't tune into Shuffle to figure that out or anything. But I think he knows Rosalina is tough for Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong struggles to get rid of Luma. And of course, as I'm saying that, the side B kick just takes care of her immediately. But that's pretty much Diddy Kong's best answer to dealing with Luma, is the monkey flip kick. And if Abadango doesn't afford him any opportunities to go for that, we could see Luma sticking around for an uncomfortably long period of time and really getting in the way of Zinoto's projectile game. But yes, him again going for the flip.
And I have to make note of Zinoto's vast matchup experience with this character. I mean, two of the best Rosa mains in the world live in the Midwest.
How could I forget that this man has probably played 40 sets with Rayquaza in tournament? And Knight right here as well. I don't know if they've met in bracket all that many times, but still, yeah, Zinoto definitely no stranger to fighting against Rosalina. But Abadango seems to have a handle on this as well. For the brief period that he was pseudo-maining Rosalina, Diddy Kong was still such a prominent character in the metagame. I think it was even before the character got nerfed.
Quite possibly. And once again, we're seeing Zinoto do step one effortlessly, taking out Luma, taking her out of the picture, and ensuring that that KO potential and a lot of the threats that a character like Rosalina possesses is completely neutralized, at least for these 13 seconds.
Yeah, Zinoto making me eat my words about Luma being tough for Diddy Kong to deal with, man. He's just unapologetically going for these monkey flip kicks, really making it work for himself. And even if he gets punished, doesn't really have to mind too much. It's 10 damage from Rosa, maybe a little more.
Up smash.
Oh.
Yeah, that really was the skin of his teeth. But again, the prime focus on Luma, ensuring that even though the up smash didn't connect, he didn't want to try to do a blind rush towards Rosa unless Luma was out of the picture.
Abadango, man, I can't help but think he might be a little bit rusty with this character, although he's still holding it together really well. Oh, Zinoto, no, not going to be able to get rid of Luma. And I think that down smash actually would not have sent Luma flying into tumble at 0 damage on her, but it doesn't matter. Just continue up with that up smash.
Yeah, it definitely sent her flying into the blast zone, and this could be the last stock that we see from our international guest. Again, Abadango, one of the best players in the world, certainly one of the finest that Japan has to offer, but he just might be breathing his last here.
Oh, and kind of a close call there. If Abadango got that back throw, even Luma-less, he still could have set up for a pretty potent edge guard. Doesn't seem to matter, though. This guy, Zinoto, man, showing absolutely no fear, no respect for Abadango. Wow, a little late to the party with that swing, man. That should have been a stock easy, and so should that have, but he didn't connect with Luma.
That's so unfortunate. He's already so far behind. Every single one of these near misses hurts, and it's good to see him finally close the stock out. Now on the board, maybe with some momentum, but I'm afraid it just might be a little too late. Zinoto's fundamentals certainly starting to overwhelm Abadango in what could be the final game of the series.
Making sure, though, that Zinoto can't just blindly throw bananas at him using gravitational pull to fantastic effect. And finally bought enough time for Luma to respawn, but how long will Zinoto let that be a factor is the question.
I mean, he, like we said, shredding apart Luma so many times, and that forward air is one of those tools that you can definitely use to do so.
Right, you need to tack on a little bit of percent onto Luma before it starts to send her into tumble, though. But Abadango, is this the start of something?
Quite possibly. He's going to have to make it back onto the stage first. Zinoto right there to greet him with a wall of aerials. I'm surprised we didn't see a punish on that landing, actually. Generally speaking, Rosalina's really struggle with their lack of landing options, but no need whenever the game's going to be set like that. Up smash will be sending Abadango packing at loser's quarters.
Midwest giving it up for their boy. Their best player, possibly their best player. Ned might be challenging him for the throne here, but Abadango with a pretty respectable 5th place finish, although a little bit lower than most people probably would have pegged.
Definitely. I mean, for me, I honestly saw grand finals potentially being Abadango